You will be very happy to know this morning that the Tesla stock has managed to kind of forgive Tesla for all those pies not being picked up at that bakery. And the pie story continues this morning. New Quartz and others are showing it for the first time, even yet this morning. Somehow in doing their research, they haven't managed to find the part about Elon saying that he would take care of the problem, even though it was some errant employee who was at fault, not Tesla as a whole. Anyway, but the good news is Tesla is ignoring it. This morning, investors have ignored that horrible news, and they are piling into Tesla stock early anyway this morning, up 365, with the market being okay this morning, but Tesla hugely outperforming. We know that sometimes happens early in the morning and then things turn around, but it's lovely to see it early this morning. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you more about the 2026 project or the 2026 concept or theory. Anyway, Larry Goldberg and Cernbasher and Brian White have all taken we've done an analysis of what they think about these 10 questions. I thought I'd put it up on X and see what the results might look like. So let's just go through it real quick here. Number one, we have, and by the way, let me know in the comments below what you think about these 10 questions. Maybe you'd like to put in your own comments or specific numbers that you think will happen by 2026. So for the full year 2026, what % chance do you believe that Tesla will ship at least 2.4 million sexy vehicles? Not counting CTs, not counting Gen 3, just the four original products, not in 2024, not in 2025, but in 2026. Do you think we can get to 2.4 million vehicles? All right, so 75 to 100% chance, 75%, 74.4% of the folks said they thought that would be it. 50 to 70%, 50 to 75% chance, 10%. Only 4% thought that it was as low as 25 to 50, and only 10% thought it was less than a 25% chance. Now, what I'm planning to do is take this number, the 75% chance of 2.4 million for 2026 and multiply that out and then come up with a number that I think that we can all live with for 2026 based on this analysis plus the analysis of the three experts that we've asked, okay? So next question is 2026 Cybertruck. What % chances that Cybertruck shipments will be at least 250,000 units in 2026? On this one, we got 45.9 percent saying 75% chance. We got 31% saying a 50 to 75% chance. So that would be a total of 77% that think it's at least 50% chance and probably swinging much higher than that. And you can see only 14 and 8% thinking it's under 50% chance. So that's a pretty good number, and I'll plug that one in as well. Okay, and then after that we've got the mega pack shipments. 2026, do we think out of the 10,000 capacity from Lathrop and the 10,000 capacity in the new Shanghai plant that's under construction now, what % chance that Tesla will ship 15,000 megapacks in 2026? That would be about a 75% of those two plants in 2026. Well, we got 71% think that this was a 75% chance. Add another almost 20%, so you're over 90% think that this will be hit in 2026. Again, we'll throw these numbers in and see what that does to the profits in 2026. All right, not today, by the way. I'm doing this later today, or maybe I'll report on it tomorrow morning, same time. 2026 FSD status. What % chance do you believe that Tesla will allow FSD to work without a driver, with Tesla assuming liability for any accident caused while FSD is in use by the end of 2026? On this one, we only got 25% thinking that it's a 75% chance or more. We got another 23%, making almost 50% thinking that the chance is 50 to 100% possibility. And then the other 50% obviously thinking it's a less than 50% chance, including 33% who think it's less than a 25% chance that FSD will be solved by the end of 2026. We're talking all of 2024, all of 2025, all of 2026, there's 33% are skeptical, thinking that it's not a chance that it'll be solved by the end of that year. All right, or only a 25% or less chance. All right, then we've got robotaxi, which, you know, you got to solve FSD in order to get robotaxi, but I thought I'd throw it out as a separate question. This one divides up about the same, with about 50% above the 50% chance and about 50% below, but with 35% thinking, no, not a chance we'll have robotaxis. Well, 25% or less chance in 2026. Next, we have the 4680 production. This is the capacity in Austin is stated as 200 gigawatt hours. What percent chance do you give that Tesla will have Austin 2680 run rate at 150 of that? So about 75% again, 25% just of Austin. That doesn't include any being made in Berlin, any being made in Shanghai, any being made in Cato Road, and any being made in Reno, all of which are likely to be making the 4680 by 2026. So just on Austin, 75% run rate, half, 54.5% said there's a 75% or more chance of that, adding only another 6% who believed it was 50 to 75. That gives you a total of 60%, with 16% under 50% and less than 25% at 21%. Be interesting. I can think of another couple of questions I'd like to ask there. All right. In 2026 Generation 3 shipments, the Gen 3 platform is supposed to be ready to ramp halfway through 2025, or, you know, in the third quarter. What percent chance will Tesla ship 100,000 in 2026? Of course, you might think it'll be a lot more than 100,000 in 2026. Let me know in the comments below. But 75% of the 75% to 100 chance group came in at 66%, adding another 14.5 that think there's a 50% chance or better. So that's 80% on that, with 10%, as you see, in each of the other groups. Now we go to 2026 semi-truck shipments. So the new semi factory is being built in Sparks right now, with ramp expected to start in late this year. What chance would you assign that Tesla will build at least 20,000 in 2026? Not 2025, in 2026. All right. 50%, 48.7% thought there was a 75% chance of that. Another 23% thought there was a 50% chance. So that's a pretty good number. You're almost at 75% between those two, with the balance about 25% thinking it's less than 50% chance. Then we've got the Optimus. This is one of my favorite ones. Okay. So the question here has to do with sales or rentals of Optimus bots to customers who would use them in real-world settings, such as factories, distribution centers, construction, etc. What percent chance that Tesla will ship only 10,000, just 10,000 in 2026? Now, remember, I believe, and many other people believe, that not only Tesla, but other bot manufacturers will be deploying or have already deployed bots in their factories. We saw one in China where it's already in the factory, putting on the name badge on the hood of the cars in the factory. So this is already taking place, but I believe, and others believe, that lots more will be deployed in 2024. So that would give all of 2025 for any kind of a ramp, for any kind of testing, for any kind of analysis, and then all of 2026 to only ship 10,000 pieces. And you can imagine, if you can ship 10,000, you can ship a lot more. But anyway, here's the results. 75% think there's a 37% think there's a 75% chance or more. 10% think it's a 50% chance. And then 30% think there's a less than 25% chance. Our experts thought this was pretty much a done deal at the $10,000 level. All right, so that was all of that. Let's go on to the rest of our information this morning. If I can find it really quick, sorry. Oh my goodness, what's happening with my... Okay, here we go. We've got breaking. Oh, this is Randy Kirk, by the way. Please like, subscribe, notify. Brian White later today, Larry Goldberg tonight. And of course, you want to join Patreon and buy yourself a Cybertruck bottle opener. All right, Model S performance. We've been seeing some Model S performances completely out there in the wild, and Sawyer Merritt this morning is saying that the initial noticeable differences so far are the performance seats are different. The wheels are aero caps, red brake calipers, a front spoiler, a Ludicrous badge on the rear rather, and lowered suspension and a rear spoiler. In addition to that, we had over the weekend, we had a Cybertruck beast besting a top of the line Corvette in the 0 to 60. And the vet did manage to beat the beast in a rolling start, unfortunately. But 0 to 60 from a flat start, the Tesla was the winner. In automotive news this weekend, you might have seen a number of reports on this. I tried to go around and see if I could pick up all the information that I could. BYD has rolled out the latest creation. It's a Zhang Wang U9, a high-performance electric supercar priced at 1.68 million yuan, which is about $233,000. This unveiling positions BYD directly in competition with traditional gas-powered stars like Ferrari and Lamborghini. The announcement came during a live-streamed event in Shanghai where BYD showcased the sleek and futuristic design with its eye-catching aesthetics, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, Car News says the branding stands for Ultimate 9, according to BYD, is all-wheel drive and can accelerate from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, which is about 62 miles an hour in 2.3 seconds. And the drag race time for 400 meters, which is the quarter mile, is 9.78 seconds, according to BYD. There's no word on when the deliveries would start, but Car News China expects it will be mid-2024. And then we have this in the general news. There was not a lot of general news. I mean, believe me, there's I probably looked at 100 headlines this morning, but in the economic news this morning, there was nothing really worth passing along to you except this. And this is, I can't tell who this person is. I can't read it, unfortunately, right now. Wabufo at Wabufo. There's no second round of inflation coming. Commodities are telling you this. The current commodities index is at the lowest point since 2021. Let that sink in. Now, the opposite, the flip side of that is having them being at the lowest level since 2021 also says that maybe they're at the lowest level, and we would be looking for some kind of rebound, and that would impact inflation, but it would have to be a significant and quick rebound for it to really have a substantial impact, as a lot of people will now have their commodities purchases, dialed in for months and months and months into the future. Okay, let's take a look at where stocks are this morning. Look at this now. Tesla is up $4.80. What do you think about that in the early going? Now, remember, it was down about that much on Friday. So it's at $196.77 right now. It is topping a bit right now. So it was straight up in the early morning because, the pie story and everything. But it is now topped off a little bit at $4.99. So maybe starting to continue that acceleration. Maybe we're going now down. See how quickly it happens. Anyway, all right, let's look at the Dow is up 108 right now. We got the NASDAQ down 2.68. We have got the S&P up 2.81. So in general, I would call that a mixed start to the market this morning. We have got all of the rest of the Magnificent Seven down except for NVIDIA, which is up $2.36. But the rest are down. And we've got the Cathie Woods mostly in the green this morning. A couple of exceptions, but basically Square is the big exception, which is down. Everything else is up nicely. Yes, okay, so let's look at percentages because I know you'd like me to do that. Dow is up 0.27%, NASDAQ up 0.02 now. So the NASDAQ has flipped to the green, up 0.02, S&P up 0.07, Tesla up 2.48 this morning. Some pundit the other day said that this early trading on Tesla is commonly because of options traders doing a bunch of maneuvering. I don't know whether that's true or not. Let me know in the comments below whether you think that has anything to do with, we've been seeing this action now for at least a month, maybe 6 weeks, where Tesla opens counter to the market, either up or down. Whatever the market's doing, Tesla's kind of doing the opposite. Now the market's up, but barely up this morning, and Tesla is up strongly, up 2.28. So do you think that might be true? Let me know in the comments below. All right, let's go on to, we've got the 10-year bonds up just 0.4 basis points this morning. All of the rest of the bonds are up this morning, with the 2-year up 1.5 and the 2-month up 0.8%. Both of those more than the 10-year, but only by a small amount. But yeah, the 2-year continues to widen that spread. We're now at 2.6. We're now at 4. We're now at over 4. Yeah, we're over 4 now on that inversion. That is not good. Okay, let's see here. I mean, not good, I guess. I think the inversion is not a good sign. And the fact that it continues to invert, I think, is not a good sign. All right, bonds, I'm sorry, just did bonds. Oil is up a nickel at 76.54. That number at 76, 77 for like a week. It's been not moving hardly at all. Natural gas up another 6% this morning at $1.70. So it's recovering a little bit now. We've got the dollar firm this morning. We have gold down 10. It was down more earlier at 2,038, so right in the middle of that range. Copper down a little this morning at 1.33%, I'm sorry, 1.33% down. Crypto down 90. It was down a lot more earlier, so it's sitting at 51.7. And yeah, that is the full scale of what we're looking at here. Going back to Tesla, it is still sitting at 488 up. So it's holding in that range. It's been just a little higher than that earlier, but $4.88 up this morning. NASDAQ dipping back into the red just a bit. The rest of everything I told you a minute ago still continues to be true. Okay, so of course, you know what to do is like, subscribe. Why do you subscribe? So that you can hit notify. You want to hit notify because Brian White will be on later today around the noon hour California time. And then Larry Goldberg will help me with the Good News Monday edition. And let's see, yesterday, I can't remember. I'm going to put up a card. It'll be a surprise, even to me, because, yesterday was a long time ago, and I don't remember right now what my evening show. Oh yeah, well, last evening show, was just talking about what's coming up in the week right now. But there was a Good Morning Show. What was that about? Is that another? I can't remember. I'm putting up a card right here. I'm sorry. That's all I got for you. I'm gonna say that as usual, it has been great talking to you.